Hello and welcome to Court of Swords. I was going to make a Max has risen joke, but he's not even here. So I can't even make that joke. I can't even make the stupid Easter Sunday joke about Max. I can't.
What the fuck was that? I've never seen that intro before.
It was last week, but you were playing auto chess.
Yeah.
It was here in the last episode. You were just playing auto chess.
No, it was not, you liar.
It was.
Yeah, it was. It actually was here.
Was.
I didn't have the stream up.
Yeah, maybe. Might have been true.
Yeah.
Might have been true.
That's awesome, dude.
Anyways, Max is going to be joining us here soon. Did he put? Are there holes in that poster behind him?
There's Christmas lights hanging off of them.
That's what it is.
That's what those little yellow, the little dots. Yeah, there's Christmas lights hanging off that guy.
It's Christmas lights. It's not Christmas, though. It's Easter. Wrong holiday.
No.
He needs some Easter eggs up there. He should really get with it on his set decor. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's been a while since we've done a weekend cast. At least not live show weekend cast. Not live show weekend cast. This used to be the norm for us, Adam. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I guess conventions happened. We smartened up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Then we stopped missing episodes. I'm just really excited that here on the day of celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we are playing the Devil's Game.
It's true.
Dungeons and Dragons. That makes me so happy. Like, what a great way to celebrate Easter. Like, hooray, Jesus is risen. But you know what's great? Satan and Dungeons and Dragons. I got to listen to some heavy metal and drink some whiskey today, and then I'm sold. It's
Nice.
it. I'm done.
We should have done a one shot.
Traditional Easter.
We should have done a one shot, and Dan could have been Jesus, and we could have killed Dan and then put him in a tomb, and then send the cleric in afterwards and res them. It would have been a great Easter play one shot. I don't know. Maybe
The
Zeke is
problem is-
Judas. I'll be the Roman emperor or something. Who would Max be?
Cool.
Who on the 12 apostles was always late? That would be Max.
Right. Jedediah the Late.
Yeah.
No, he's the one who denied Jesus 3 times.
Oh, is that? That's Judas, isn't it?
That's
No.
Thomas.
Oh, that's Thomas. I don't.
Apostle
It's Thomas, right? Where
Peter.
Where
It was
Thomas
Peter.
was like, oh, Peter? Okay. No, right. Thomas was the guy who didn't believe it. Thomas was like, no, that's not real. Jesus didn't really come back to life.
Apostle
that's
Max is
doubting
never
Thomas,
late. He arrives exactly when he needs to.
Yeah, that's part of the ancient scripture in the Bible. That's I've heard that. I've seen the movie on that. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's great.
I think it was Bullshittians chapter 4, verse 7.
One of the great
there's all
gospels.
these there's all these movies about various bits and pieces from the Bible, but nobody's ever had to turn the entire Bible into a movie. That'd be pretty good. There you go. So it's the Christian cinematic universe, and they can make a bunch of different movies with the different characters from the Bible.
That'd be great.
Start with Moses, right? And they can franchise it out. It'll be great. And pretty soon,
Song of Solomon's going to be real weird. I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting one. Yeah.
and then Disney will buy Christianity because that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be New Testament because there's some weird shit in the Old Testament.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, because I went to private school my entire life. I remember we would try to find Song of Solomon and read it because it's basically just like softcore porn in written form. And so we'd all sit there and read it, like circled around the Bible, reading Song of Solomon. So stupid. Bunch of fucking idiot kids.
I mean, come on now. I mean, that's not so different than like taking Spanish class and the first thing you look up is how to swear. You're like,
Well, that's
how do
true.
I say fuck?
Yeah. That's also true.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
I'd be pretty into watching whatever movie or movies make up the book of Revelations. That'd be sweet with all the lakes
That'd be
of
a
blood.
two-parter. It'd be a two-parter.
4 horsemen and
Yeah.
shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I watch that shit. That'd be awesome.
It'd be pretty good. It'd be good. Anyways, that's our Easter Spirit Sunday right there, or Easter Sunday Spirit rather. He's in everyone, is what they say. That's how it goes.
Surgically removed.
Yeah.
He's gonna need some consent.
It's true.
Yeah,
true.
get out of me, Jesus.
That's what you got to be careful with that. Max, good morning.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good morning, man.
This is early for you.
Hi.
You've been getting up real
I mean-
early on account of me all week long, and I like that. That's great. I'm fixing you, Max. We're getting you back into a real boy.
I mean, were you fixing me, or was the addiction to play Anno so strong that I was like, yeah, I'll get up whenever, dude. I'll get up whenever to play that game.
It might be a little of both, but look, I'll take what I can get.
A little both.
I'll take what I can get. How is
Yeah, it was fun.
how's the post? Are you out of the ano addiction? Are you out? Are you clear?
No.
Did you go to the doctor and get a
no.
shot? Get vaccinated?
I knew that I had to. I knew that I had to take like a little break to. We hit it hard for at least 3, or I hit it for like 3 days straight.
I'm
I think.
opening up Uplay real quick to see how many hours we logged.
Oh, I thought you were about to do a bit about like I'm opening up Anno Anonymous AA.
No. We put 30 hours into the main game, and then open beta, I think we put like 20 or 25. So
Yeah. Did follow up? Did you ever like when you did the solo playthrough? It was a lot better.
No, fuck that game. I'm done with that shit. Dude, I didn't even hit tier 4. I got to right when you start trading rum across. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this ping pong. If I want to play ping pong, I'd play ping pong. I'm not doing it.
Right.
And I just alt F4.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see if because I know Dan was playing as well. I wonder if he had the same issues as we did as far as like the rum and the economy going back and forth a lot. They really need that statistics building so that you can further break down like what your break in the chain is.
Oh, Dan, you're muted.
You're muted.
You got to mute that. Mics are important.
Sound is a crucial
says
part
go
of
to-
this
Yeah,
broadcast.
Go
Fuck you
to
guys, keep talking.
someone else. Move on, sir.
Cut to another segment. Come on, quick.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
What's up?
And
Yeah,
you're
like-
Zeke with traffic.
Every time you get a new island or a new like industry thing, everything that you had previously starts breaking, and you have to fix it all again.
Yeah.
And like start making more of everything, and then transferring everything. And like you don't know how much exactly you need, so you got to kind of guess. And then sometimes you make way too much or way too little, and you need more information. in
That's
that
actually
game.
that's actually how it works in real life in history. As soon as they invented the cotton gin, all the hand looms burst into flames. It's a nightmare.
That's accurate. That's accurate. Yeah, I was even using that stupid calculator that we found, Max, to like make sure that I had whatever the calculator spits out as enough. And one, the advanced difficulty is obviously working against us because we get medium income instead of normal income. So our income's actually halved. I think if we were playing on normal difficulty or whatever,
Probably would. Yeah, no,
we would have
be,
always
like,
been
thriving.
in the positive.
Yeah, we'd be thriving like crazy.
Yeah. I think that was screwing us first off. But then they just need timings for the fucking new world, old world shit. It's frustrating. That's all they do.
Yeah, I still really like that game, and I hope that I have to feel like they're gonna address that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
probably enough people have played it where they're like, what the fuck? Like, 'cause you can only manage and try to fix your shit so much, and then it's just something wrong with the game. Because me and you both tried like a bunch of shit. And then, we use that calculator that tells you exactly what you need thereabouts or your population in total. And even then, it was still a little weird.
That was a little
like
weird.
I still managed to keep it positive, but just I would love to have the statistics building so I can tell what the hell's going on that makes it go like, all right, plus 4,000, 5,000, negative 1,100. I don't know what's happening.
The other thing that's kind of I understand why it's there and I understand why it works the way it does, but the whole like going to the warehouse and seeing the plus minus on the different items, that's like a trend. So it takes a while for that trend to
exactly
go to whatever your current trend is. It's not an immediate response to what you're actually getting in. And that's annoying because you have to sit there like, well, is this appropriate or did they just get a giant pickup for 50 wood and that's why it's -1 right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you just build a bunch of buildings, it'll say you have negative whatever materials you just spent. You know? Like even though you're making enough, you just doesn't makes it look like you're missing stuff.
I never got Dan. Did you ever hit tier 5? I have never seen a tier 5 building.
I haven't got to tier 5 because tier 4 was it's
a motherfucker.
a huge beast.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I haven't even hit tier 4, but living through JP's frustrations, I can tell that it's a bitch.
I hit tier 4 and got the power plant running on like a giant industrial line. It was great because every building ran at 200%. But then like the rum and the cotton from the new world to old world just started being way too overwhelming and it was always negative. And then eventually like one game of co-op, it kicked me out of the game because I was at like such a net loss in terms of balance and revenue. It was like, you have been defeated. Get out of the game. So,
Wow.
Yeah. It's a motherfucker.
Do you, here's the key question, Dan. George Smith, friend or foe to you?
Oh. I don't know if he uses George Smith.
He's like, who's George Smith?
Who's George Smith again?
Okay, who are the two AI in your game?
I have an old lady and like there's 7 different characters. You only have 3 of them at a time. So like I may not have had George Smith in my game.
Was it Beryl or was it the one that was like a little more prunier than her?
It was the more pruny lady.
He might have had the tier 1 people. Or whatever the normal people. We were idiots and put Beryl and George Smith, and Beryl just like mass expands everywhere, takes every goddamn island, and George Smith is just an asshole who berates you.
I was
all
cool
game.
with Beryl though. She loved my propaganda that I used all the fucking time.
I put a tier 3 lady in my game the first time, and she came out at me with 40 ships when I wasn't prepared and just wiped me out, and I was just like, oh god.
Yeah. I did the same thing, but I went at Beryl with like 40 ships, and she was like. Pfft. And she just slaughtered me, and then I was like, "Well, Max, I'm done. I'll see you later." After 10 hours of playing,
40 ships.
And I ulted 40.
It was
like 11 or 12.
Maybe 6.
Yeah, it was like 11 or 12. But one of them was a steam-powered boat, which is supposed to be the best of the best. And that thing fucking sucks. It was a waste of resources and time and money and all this shit.
Let me tell you what happened. JP jumped. He climbed right into the ring. He was like, "I box.
Yeah,
I box."
It's true.
Beryl's like,
yeah.
He was not ready.
She had way too many guns set up, far more than I was ready for. So I lost really bad.
Yeah, that game's good though, and also shitty,
game.
but good.
It's also a shitty good game, or it's a good shitty game.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a shitty good game.
It's only frustrating though because it's so good. Everything else about it is good up to the point where you're just like, well, I don't know how to fucking fix this. You know?
Yeah. They need more information on a lot of stuff, and that would help out a lot.
Yep, I would agree.
Love the music in that game. Love the ambience. Love all the little voice lines. You know.
It's all good.
By the way, Dan. So good to see you, Uncle.
Yeah.
I love the smell of Jew.
I had 30 hours
I
listening to
like
Max.
being impressed.
Just doing that, just repeating the lines.
Dormice.
I love the smell of what?
Yeah, I'm trying to what?
Yeah, I think she's saying do, but her accent makes it sound like Jew.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Okay. She's English, so it's supposed to be like do, like the stuff on plants, not like the Hebrew people. Okay, got it. Good.
Yeah.
Well, we are a very sweet-smelling people, I will admit that.
Yeah. L'chaim.
I'm trying real hard not to make an Easter joke right now because it'll doom me. It'll doom me. Let's just move on quick. Let's just keep going.
No, it won't. I'll tell you that right now. Because we're still waiting for the Messiah.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
I can talk about Anna a whole bunch, but I'm done. No.
Okay, Max is done. He's out. He's checked out. Also, we were talking. We need some Easter lights on your background stuff. Also, your camera's not perfectly square anymore. Just FYI.
You mean like headroom and as far as the top, or
no? The painting's not squared at all. Like it.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
oblong. It's because you showed your dog on the stream the other day, then you had someone adjust it
for you.
Yeah. Don't move. What? Oh, okay. Well, you could do that too. I was gonna say you can move the camera, but whatever works. I like how he's hung him. He can't even like put him off kilter. Beautiful.
It's fine.
Well done. Well done. Zeke, what's your poison? I heard you yelling at something today. Is that the auto chess yells, or is it something else?
Yeah, it always hurts a lot when you're playing that auto chess game and you're like, man, I got a pretty good team going. You're like cleaning the floor with everybody, and this one dude's like, and just crushes you.
Yeah.
And how that game works is the more pieces left on the board when they win, that's how much damage they do to you. And this guy had like all of his fucking pieces left on the board and just shot his shit shotgun right in my face and just blasted me to death. And I was like, I'm doing pretty good. I'm thinking I'm on track to get like, a solid second or third. No, you're getting nothing.
That sucks. You got that fifth or lower is what happened?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I had a win today earlier when I was waking up in bed and stuff. So I feel all right still.
Nice. What else? You're still on the Sekiro grind, right?
Yep. Still doing that. Having a lot of fun. I'm still surprised that people actually want to watch that shit. I mean, seeing as how like most people who started it have already beat it, and I'm just late to the party because of all the traveling I've been doing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man, I'm so glad. Like my big ups to the mods for helping out with the spoilers and the helps and hints and stuff like that, because it is so satisfying when you like beat something and you do it like after I get done beating something that would like took me a while and it was difficult. I'll ask chat like, there's probably a cheese to that, right? They're like, oh man, yeah, you could have like done this like, and it would have been over in like 3 seconds. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't look then. I'm glad I didn't get spoiled on that.
Yeah.
Because like that would have like really shit on an hour and a half of like, trying to beat something.
That's true.
But I will say also there's some really cool reveals. Like when you're just kind of walking along and then suddenly thing and you're like, Jesus Christ, that's hilarious. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
Zeke and I are right at the same place in Sekiro, and I finally give a shit about the story. It took so long, but the last time that I played, I was like, all right, I care what happens now. But prior to that, the first like 24 hours or I was like, okay, just let me do sword fighting. The sword fighting is great. Shut up. And I'm like,
Really?
oh, okay, now there's some cool stuff going on. It took forever to get there.
I'm in the same boat. A little bit. I'm comparing it to the other FromSoft games. I much more enjoyed the environments of the Souls and Bloodborne games.
Yeah.
Than I do this one because, well, takes place in Japan, and that takes like all those other games take place in a magical fantasy world, and that's far more intriguing to me than anything that could be accurate or historical. I know it's not. Trust me. I mean, I'm not making that claim. I'm just
This
saying,
is
like,
not a fantasy game. This actually happened. All of those powers and things happened.
Right.
See, this is
You know
why
what
I
I'm saying,
think
though,
this is why I
right?
think that this is why I think Ghost of Tsushima is going to be more interesting story-wise than Sekiro, because Ghost of Tsushima is supposed to be more historically accurate. Like it's set during a very specific time period and things are going on. Whereas Sekiro, it's like, it's in Japan and we're not going to tell you exactly when. And like, you can kind of guess at who some of these characters are supposed to be or who they're related to. But it's, I feel the same way. Where I'm like, it's not fantasy enough, but it's not like historical or realistic enough.
yeah.
I hear you.
But I don't mind the story. The thing that I really enjoy is like, suspending my disbelief that Sekiro is a hero when he just goes into villages and just murders fucking everybody in the village. Like,
Yo, he's a
just
D&D
kills
character.
everything.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, what's up? You're a farmer? I need to get over there, and you're standing in my way, so murdered. Oh, well, there's 3 more for you. Dead, killed, murdered. What else? Anybody? No? Rest of the village? You're all dead. Okay, here we go.
It's good.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
And a lot of times sure, there are some like disgusting, awful looking things, but a lot of times you're killing very beautiful looking things. Like, and they're just like playing away on their flute, like, blood. Just flying.
Listen, man,
out of them.
you have to do what your master tells you. Otherwise, you are violating the Iron Code. So if your master's like, go to that village and murder literally everybody, you got to be like, all right, okay, all right, 8-year-old boy, I'll do what you say.
Yeah.
And then
I don't like the flute playing of that person. Murder them.
have them killed.
Isn't that reminds like I'm actually wearing a Mystery Science Theater shirt right now, but what you just did, Max, reminded me of like the pod people with Trumpies, like Trumpy, murder them, murder them all.
I haven't watched Mystery Science in a long time. I should. They put out a bunch of stuff on Netflix, right?
It's good.
It's good.
I think
it's
so.
completely
Yeah.
different. It's completely different than any of the old like Joel Hodgson like dry like Mike to a similar degree. Like it was slower paced. This one is really quick paced.
Yeah.
So I think they went a good direction by not trying to recapture an old spark, and they created some new stuff, and it's good. I really, really enjoy it. A couple of them, the Wizards of the Lost Kingdom, those two, they have the first one and a sequel like back to back. Oh, they're among the best Mystery Science Theater that I've watched. Like, and I've watched all of them.
Okay. I might have to jump into that. We'll see. Mr. DansGaming, besides the Anno 1800, what else you been playing the past, whenever since we last spoke? I don't know when that was. It's been a while.
That's it. It's just been Anno. It's been nonstop trying to get to tier 5.
Yeah. I don't even know like
not
what's
up
at
there.
tier 5. I think it's investors, and apparently they make a lot of money, which makes sense, sure. But I don't know what else is there.
But like, once you get there, what's the incentive to like? There's nothing past it, so I wonder what's the incentive to keep going after you get
Right.
that first building.
It's to murder George Smith and take him off the face of the fucking earth.
Max and George Smith have really storied history. We'll say that. We'll say that much.
Ooh, I know this is Dan's time, but real quick, Beryl started to give me gifts because she was getting intimidated. That's how much I expanded.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
across the map.
Started to get her a little shaky.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Dan.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, it's Anno. We've talked Anno. So, anything coming up that you're excited about, Dan?
Days Gone is coming up in a few days, and I hope that one's good.
Yeah,
cool.
I think that's gonna be like a
I-
7
like-
out of 10 or an 8 out
Yeah,
of
it's
10.
gonna be an average game probably. I'll get to try it in a couple of days, so
Yeah.
who knows?
I'm really
Also
excited about that.
Mortal Kombat 11 comes out in a couple of days too.
Yeah.
Not at all for that.
I want to be excited for new fighters and stuff. I realize I just don't give a shit about fighters anymore.
I'm bad at fighters,
care.
but the way that people die in that game is pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, no, it is cool.
Yeah,
It is cool.
It's
If you
worth
want to play it and just watch the death animations and things like that and the fatalities and shit, you can do that. But I'm just not good at fighting games. and
it's
I'd
worth
rather
watching. Like
people that are
it's
good
worth
at it.
watching it.
There's something so interesting about the human reaction to like gratuitous violence, like that we find it funny, that we laugh at it. Like it's so over the top. And that's been Mortal Kombat's like stock and trade since the first one, where you're like, this is ludicrous. This is so ridiculous. And they just keep upping it. So watching those things, you're like, rationally, this is horrible. This is a very horrible thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But it's like it's funny. It's exhilarating in this funny way. I think that's so interesting.
I've
I love it.
seen all of the like first, I guess I'm probably breaking some NDA here, but I've seen all the first like fatalities at 4K HDR. They're pretty good. Like it seems like those people know what to do to the human body to be like, oh shit, that's fucking gross, man.
So I love, I want to know, I want to be in those planning meetings, those brainstorm meetings. Like, all right, everybody, we're going to start a new Mortal Kombat day. We're going to put this game out. Let's all get together. There's no bad ideas. What's the most gratuitous way you could kill a person? Go. Just anybody. Gary, what do you got? Like, we could rip his butt off. Good idea, Gary. It's going up on the board. Who else? What else? What anybody else
What
got?
about if
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
No, I'm
ahead,
I'm
go
sorry. James had an idea. James, go ahead, James.
Yeah. It's
Oh, he's not gonna say it. Well, I'll say mine then. What if we took out it pulled out the teeth each individually, and then put them in their eyes and made their eyes talk?
yeah. You could do it.
Yep.
You could do it. There's a
Pretty
lot
good.
of fucked up ones. Anyways, I'm excited for Tuesday just to see the story's real fucking crazy in that game. It means absolutely nothing, but it's still a lot of fun just to see how crazy they go with the new big bad evil guy every fucking or every new release. I want to say episode, but it's every new release, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Should be fun. Well, cool. When was the last time we played? I feel like it's been a month, but it's been a week and a half, right?
Yeah, we can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, last
Okay.
Tuesday before last.
Okay. Well, let's jump into the recap, see what's been going on, and then we'll get started with our goals. So, here we go. It didn't work. There it is.
Previously on Court of Swords, Yotozo is introduced to the Queen and the Page, an old dandy and his enormous brute companion. The Queen tells Yotozo he knows there are more like him in the necropolis, and if he wishes to rejoin his friends and escape the clutches of the king, he's going to need help. The Queen offers a key and a choice. Ramus and Berg attend the Divine Comedy where they run into Little Action, who tells them they need to lay low. On their way out, the theater is closed, and a special performance begins. The strange creature that belongs to the king is to be revealed. Meanwhile, Bugfucker and Maharib continue their path towards, if not friendship, a curmudgeonly tolerance of one another. Bugfucker explains a few things about life in the Court of the Void, and we learn he used to be a lot more together than he is now. Gun Princess begins to reform, but might not wake up. Some souls, it seems, just refuse the light of the green sun and its power. This upsets both of them. But Bugfucker, thankful for the help, offers Maharib identification papers for the group. Yota is unveiled at the comedy, performing drunkenly for the crowd until he spots the queen, the page, and a veiled figure watching from above. He unlocks his manacles and, breaking the stage lights, attempts an escape. Madness erupts in the crowd, and the king attempts to keep her prize at hand as Yota, Ramus, and Berg fight to escape. Maharib and obstinate Bugfucker decide to gamble on a transfusion. The juice can do just about anything, and it runs through Maharib and all creatures of the world's veins. As the blood hits Gun Princess's system, she's shocked awake and screaming. Her eyes, wide, change from their normal sickly yellow to the bright red of her benefactor. It's clear something has gone wrong.
Before we do that, hey Adam, what have you been up to?
Nothing, man. Fucking nothing. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Let's play some D&D.
You totally skipped him.
I totally straight up
It
skipped
happens.
you.
It happens
Fuck
more
you, I
often
don't
than
give a
you
shit.
think. Because I'm at the end and I don't think about it because usually I'm doing like last minute prep for the episode where I'm like,
You're,
okay, let's
getting
make some
ready to
notes and
jump
like get
into
caught
it.
up.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm already ready, and then you're like, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, wait a second, I haven't talked in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We hit the 30 minutes.
yeah,
I'm like,
let's-
all right, well, we filled that. Let's go ahead and jump
Yeah,
into the thing.
yeah, it's all right. It's okay. The pacing of the show is more important than me bragging about playing Magic. So let's do some character goals. I think that for Ramus, Yotazo, and Berg, like if all three of you wanted to write a goal about like getting away, because we're sort of like Act 2 of the escape, right? The escape of
away.
Yotazo.
I want to get away.
And Ramus and Berg have gotten caught up in that because there was a big fight and you joined in on it. So the three of you plus Little Action are all hanging out, trying to get away. You've just left the Divine Comedy, and they're definitely going to chase you, right? Because the king wants her. She wants her Mr. Tusky back. So let's talk about what you want your goals to be for this session, above and beyond that, because that's not going to take. I was about to say that's not going to take the whole episode, but God knows sometimes that happens.
You never know.
So we'll save Maharib for last because you're on your own. All right, Ramus, what do you want to do?
First goal, I'll find a way back. Second one is going to be escape the people chasing us.
Okay.
And then third goal will be reunite with Maharib.
Right. Yeah. Because for all you know, he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yotazo.
Let's see. Hold on. Well, the first one is retrieve my wine teru, my my jug.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you have to reunite with your the people you convinced to get it for you, because there was a crit, I believe, on that roll. So the queen. I'm actually gonna make it. Okay.
Yes, the queen. We have to reunite, like meet up with the queen. Yeah, I created that whatever roll. He's gonna get me stuff. Hopefully, he'll get me not only my wine teru, but like maybe some of my other stuff if you're feeling frisky, like key to heaven, mirror, that kind of shit. So that's my goal. First goal. Second goal is rejoin the party, and I didn't complete it because it's not the entire party. So we'll just morph that into Maharib. Collect. How'd you put it, Dan?
Reunite.
Rejoin Maharib.
Yeah.
Reunite with Maharib.
Reunite. There it is. Reunite with Maharib. Okay, and my third goal, and I'm like seriously, like Dan is just my fucking inspiration for every fucking goal writing now, because
Dan, take inspiration.
dude knows how to get shit done. So I'm gonna do escape from pursuit or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So can we just for a second, as like players, can we talk about?
God. Here it comes.
So you're
Max is dead.
You're
Let's
giving
talk
up
about how we kill him. Let's go.
Don't worry. I'm buying you some time here, Max.
Oh.
Well, so me and you here, Zeke. So I wanted to point out, I think it's interesting from a sort of directorial perspective that you have given up your find a way to ease my addiction, but you're retaining get my jug back, which I think it's an interesting set of goals where you're like, because you could just not get the jug back and that would probably help you stop being such an addict. But instead you're like, no, I got to get that jug. I got to get it.
Well, I have to play it like it is. I have to play it like,
yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah. Because
yeah,
sure, I want to. I mean, it's like that the fucking alcoholic with a bottle in his hand going like, I need to stop this shit, man. This is terrible. And just drinking the whole time. Like, I know people like that. I've been people like that. So first things first, let's take the edge off and then we'll figure it out.
Right. I can't quit drinking while I'm sober. That's crazy.
Well, and if I don't drink, I go crazy. Like I will literally lose my mind if I don't have some alcohol.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was an interesting
No, I actually removed the alleviate my addictions because first of all, it doesn't seem like it's accomplishable today.
Yeah.
And second, first things first.
Yeah. Well, it's my understanding that kind of thing is a lifetime goal anyway. So you can keep working on it. All right, Berg.
Yeah, oh man, wouldn't that be shitty if it was like real life? It's like, no, I'm not recovered. I'm recovering. Always.
Yeah, you'll never accomplish that goal. It's not possible.
I'm sober 15 years. I'm still recovering.
Yeah. So, Berg, what do you want your goals, Max? Do you want your goals for Berg to be?
Escape the void. Obviously, we'll keep that. Successfully flee from pursuers.
So you want to get away from the.
Yep.
Okay.
The third one says create a successful disguise. That didn't happen, right? That was the whole like flesh crafting thing.
Currently, the only person that's even remotely disguised is Yotozo, and that's just because he has a tablecloth over his head.
I have mixed feelings about that because I really do believe that Berg is going to get fucked up from the Cronenberg flesh crafter that I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it'd be cool to have wings, but that does not come without a price. I feel like in the Adam Coble universe, especially.
Yeah. I mean, how many episodes? How many episodes have we played together? You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want that.
You know the story.
I don't know if I want that.
You might get wings, but you might lose your legs. That's Adam Coble.
Yep. Yep. He sold all your hair to buy a gift for your wife, and she bought you a beautiful comb. So, what do you think?
I don't know. What do you guys think, castmates? That's my decision, but
well, I mean, at times like this, like I go back to just like, what does Berg want most?
Yeah. I don't know how you guys will escape your current predicament and make it back to the flesh crafter and be like, "Hey, how's it going? You want to look inside my stomach? Great."
It's just like in Grand Theft Auto, right? Like you run away from the cops.
Okay.
You run away from the cops. You go to the body shop. They convert you into somebody else, and then you leave, and the cops don't recognize you anymore.
Yeah, they're standing outside, and
you just
also,
walk away.
once they realize, like by looking around at me, they're gonna know. The flesh crafter's gonna know that I'm not of this world, and
that would complicate things. Yeah.
Repulsive, or I become, wow, you're very rare. You're never leaving. I'm using every bit of you.
Right.
Totally. And now because I said,
well, I mean, yeah, given what happened at the end of the last episode and what we're sort of learning about your blood and the fact that you're made out of like magic plutonium, basically. Yes, there is that danger. So
I don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of it. People are gonna be mad about it, but I don't care.
Hey, it's your
doesn't want wings that badly.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want your third goal to be? Escape the void, get away from the divine comedy.
Leaning towards either potentially like finding some sort of better defense or boon you can take back with from the void, or just reuniting with Maharib. I'm probably just going to say reunite, find out what happened to Maharib. And
yeah, it makes sense. It can be one of those episodes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because we haven't seen Maharib in a long time. As a player, I know other people are working on that, so it makes sense.
Well, and mechanically, it's smart to hitch your wagon to the we're all doing this stuff together thing, rather than be like, I need to find an opportunity in the 4 hours to do my own thing.
Yeah,
it's good.
I don't have an auto adjust. Like JP,
everybody wants these same.
Yeah, I typed in chat for a reason, so leave it in chat.
I'm gonna call it out. Whenever the volume fluctuates for me, I have no idea. But I know that's happened for like everybody on the show.
It's like there's an auto adjust somewhere on your end.
Yeah, it's like the volume automatically adjusts itself.
It's like
somehow.
it gets louder and then it gets quieter once you start
it.
talking more, and it automatically adjusts to whatever.
What's crazy is that every time
it's not an auto adjust.
I have to go into Google Chrome, like in the volume mixer, like on my computer, and turn it all the way down to like 10%.
Yes, yeah. vMix does some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. It's okay. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. Maharib, you want to get into the necropolis still?
I don't think that's
on your goal list.
I feel like the party's leaving the necropolis soon, so I don't know if I want to leave that there. So I'm going to change that and go into the reunite with the party route. We'll just make that one big group goal.
Good.
I
dig it.
The other two were open ended. I had an idea for one goal, but I'm not sure. And I guess I can try to make anything happen. You could be the one that sets the difficulty. Given what I think is happening with the princess, that I want to try to convince her to come back to our world.
Ooh, okay. Nice. All right.
Are you trying to convince to come back?
Princess Gun?
Gun Princess.
Gun Princess. Not Gunblade. That's just the name I've given her now. It's
What about
Princess
Bugfucker?
Gunblade.
You want Bugfucker to come back?
We could, he might just come by himself. That's not a goal. If he decides to come by, then sure, yeah.
He seems like you got a friend.
He might.
Now he's like,
Yeah, but now I also have a daughter now, Max. I'm a family man. All right.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Weird blood transfusion mutant daughter.
yeah.
Okay. So reunite with the party, convince Gun Princess to come back to the world, and
The third one would be there's not really any like immediate danger that I'm aware of. I think just like we'll make like a long-term goal of like start going down the path of how are we going to get back to our world. Like start the plan or if it's going to be like a multi-step goal, that it could just be like get back to our
I think
world.
the goal is so right now you don't know how to break it down into smaller goals, so I think we'll just say it's the same as Berg's, right? Escape the void.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we'll right now it's one big goal you'll probably be able to work towards, and hopefully in working towards it will help you break it down into a smaller goal.
Yep.
So you can achieve those.
We've been in the void for so long that I forgot there's another world.
Yeah.
The regular world.
Damn. Big same. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So you're all in this place, and I know we left it on a cliffhanger, but we'll come back to Maharib and Gun Princess. Let's start in the streets of the necropolis. So in Opportunity, there's always stuff going on, right? There are crowded streets of vein hunters returning from their prospects. We have the citizens, we have flesh crafters, we have members of the various Mara factions that exist in this city, and they're all crammed together in this kind of ramshackle, like strange town that's grown up around the vein that is below the city somewhere. And right now, the city has a kind of carnival feel to it as we fade in. Right, we can see colorful. For the Court of the Void, which everything is sort of muted here, but colorful for this world, banners and pennants. There are jugglers in the streets, performers. There is a kind of like festival air to this place. But as with the Divine Comedy itself, on a grander scale, there is a strange desperation, right? This is the party at the end of the world. This is a nothing matters anymore, so let's get drunk and pass out in the streets kind of feeling. This is a celebration without joy, and as we kind of get closer in, as we tighten in on the city, we find the Divine Comedy itself, the great theater hall built for this necropolis, and the doors burst open, and Berg, Ramus, little action, and Yotazo with a blanket over his head burst out into the street, startling the people who are waiting outside the theater, right? Because the door has been shut for a time. There's a bit of a crowd gathered outside, and they're not sure whether this is part of the show or not. And so some people get excited and clap when the door bursts open and these strange figures come out. But there's shouting from inside, right? There's shouts, and above all of that, I think the first sort of voice, the first clear voice line of the episode that we hear is the king screaming, "Bring me my elephant!" And the kind of mind-controlled horde behind you turning to give chase. What do the 3.5 of you do?
Berg is gonna notice the people all excited, and he's gonna go, "While you can, go. The king invites you in." And then just like,
so you want to be like, yeah, come on in, everybody, so that they're gonna block the way behind you.
Yep.
Clever. Okay. All right.
No.
I don't think it's too clever. I think it's great. You're making a distraction in a combat type situation. Okay, let's have you roll. Let's get a. Yeah, let's do a performance roll.
Okay.
I think they want to come in. Let's say DC 8.
Okay. Whoop.
Hey, nice. All right, it works.
Really good
So as you emerge, Berg shouts to the crowd that it's time to come in. Come on in, everybody. And the crowd surges forward, creating a counter push to anyone who is chasing behind you. And you have a moment as they rush forward to move out of the way, because otherwise they'll come and pile on top of you. So what do? Do you all run somewhere together, or?
Yeah, I mean, if possible, if we're super scattered, then we just probably avoid the crowd. But it stands to reason that we're all pretty close together. So as a unit, we'd probably just try to move out of the way. I wonder if we could help each other with that too, if for some reason, comes down to.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea of any place to go or anything like that. So I'm hoping that Berg and Ramus would. So I'm going to do my best to join up with them and figure out if they know a place to hide.
Right. So this moment is what, Yota looking at them where are we going?
Oh, so we are together then.
Yeah. Because you all kind of rushed out the door at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
I think once I hear,
which way do we go?
there's a tavern we can stay in, but hurry, get to the side, or we're gonna get swamped. I drag you guys to the side to avoid the swarms going at the door.
Okay. Yeah. And so the mind controlled goons from the inside and the excitable crowd from the outside crash into each other like a wave against the cliffside. And there's shouting and pushing. There is that kind of entitled anger of the crowd where they're like, but he said we could come in. Why are you stopping us? And then the blank faces of the mind controlled trying to push through them. And it buys you a moment, not long enough to get away, but a moment at least before the crowd sort of managed to mesh and separate. So you step aside. You're still outside in the open. What do you do?
So the plan is to get to the tavern, then they're usually knowing and being able to retrace his steps really well. Follow me this way. And starts.
Before we go,
no time for talking. We go.
They'll be looking for someone like me. Maybe not like you, but maybe if I put the cover over my head and Ramus rode me like a pack animal, and you led me so that no one would see my face.
Okay, but so here's the trick though, Yotazo. What's your strength?
But I have the what's it called? The powerful build.
Yeah, so I think it's still there's still a gamble. I think you can do it, but there'll be like a con save to see how exhausting it is to drag Ramus around on your back. Now, Ramus, you heard the magic words: carry Ramus or ride me like a pack animal. So I imagine you're ready.
I am climbing on board already. Yeah, let's do this.
I have nothing like as far as like encumbrance. Like I have my costume, and that's like basically it.
Yeah, I mean, you're still running carrying an armored man on your back. I mean, let's figure it out. So, what's you have a powerful build, right? Which what doubles your carrying capacity?
Yes. Yeah. I think.
Let
Let me just make sure here.
Let's see how tiring it would be for you to carry Ramus.
Damn
I mean, I feel like everybody's had a chance to carry Ramus now. I think we're passing this around. Let's see. I think it's like double your normal encumbrance. How much do you weigh, Ramus? Like with all your gear
Powerful
and
build.
stuff?
Oh, you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift.
Yeah.
I would say I'm like with all my gear and everything, probably just under 300 pounds with everything on my pack,
Armor is heavy.
armor and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
character's about 180, so
I
about
mean-
another.
Wow, I'm not muted. Good. Enjoy that, guys.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think you can do it. There isn't like a question about whether it's possible. But I think you'll have to just make a con save at the end of like running away. As carrying Ramus and all of his gear is pretty heavy.
I'm trying to look up how
Strength
carrying
7.
capacity is calculated.
Yeah, I forget what it is too.
It's 15 times your strength score, and then as a large creature,
there
you're
you go.
double that.
Okay, so 15 times 10 is 150, so 300 pounds I can carry.
Oh, it's exactly 300. So that's how much you can like lift and carry, but not like comfortably. Like you'll be it's perfect. So you can carry him, but it's gonna wear you down.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's certainly possible, and it will definitely help. It will definitely help like obfuscate what's going on because they're looking for 4 people.
Gotcha.
And if they see,
Because back in the day they had like carrying capacity like columns. It was like up to this weight is normal, this is like encumbered, and this is like something else. Anyway.
Okay, sure. All right, so you do that. You Ramus, you clamber up on Yodazo's back.
Yeah, climb up and wrap a rope around his neck like something I can hold on to, like I'm guiding him.
Okay. All right, and then you're all gonna stick together, Berg and Little Action. So little Action as you
the tablecloth is like covering like the entire thing. Hopefully, so I can't see.
Yeah.
So you have to guide me.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you've got like a rope around Yodazo's like tusks, and then the drapery over him. Thankfully, this is a place where a lot of like weird stuff happens, and
Exactly.
so it's you've got a little bit of cover in that regard. Yeah, Little Action is like stumbling and like having a hard time. You have to kind of like pull him along. He's kind of frail, and so I don't know who's being responsible for him. Or are you just letting him run on his own?
I think I tell Berg to hold on to him, just keep a grip on his and drag him along.
Berg complies.
Okay. All right. And then what do? You just like run off? How are you going to try to evade? So we see behind you as you like take your moment to gather up. We focus shift to behind you, and we see the king's all the king's men push through the crowd that Berg had sent towards them, and they're giving chase. So what are you gonna do?
I think we try to push into the crowd outside and try to blend into the street traffic moving in the direction of the tavern.
So you're gonna need to get out of line of sight from them before you can blend in, because they can see you, right? You'll need to lose them enough first that then you can hide.
I mean, how smart is a mindless mob? You know, mindless.
I mean, they're not mindless. They just don't have any like free will of their own. They were given a command. Yeah. So, what do you think? Split up, run for it, stick together.
I think run for it. I think splitting up isn't a bad idea, and just try our best to break line of sight together. We've already been disconnected from Maharib a bunch. I don't want to have to try to reunite with the group that we have now. So,
okay. Are you headed somewhere particular? Are you going to go like Ramus? I know you mentioned going back to Miss Tippett's. Do you want to go there straight away, or are you going to try to lead them on a merry chase first?
Probably through the alleys and stuff to try to lose them before we head back to the.
Yeah, lose them, hide out, and then make your way there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you're gonna try to stick together. All right. Let's see how that goes. So, Ramus, you don't have to roll anything because you're just like hanging out. So Yota and Berg and Little Action have to run for it. Now, Little Action has fantasy void asthma, so he is not good at this. So Berg, I'm gonna give you an option. So you can roll normally, and Little Action will roll at disadvantage, or you can roll at disadvantage, and Little Action will roll normally. It's up to you how much of your energy you're putting into
am I rolling again?
So it's gonna be an athletics check. So you're good at it.
I'll be at a disadvantage.
Okay, so you're going to roll at disadvantage, which means that Little Action can roll normal, which is good because they're not good at this. And then Yota, because you have powerful build, I won't give you disadvantage for schlepping Ramus around on your back.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do that. I'll roll for the crowd to chase you. Athletics for these guys, just one. I think just +1. Like they're just regular, like a regular crowd. But there's a bunch of them. So ooh. All right, I got a 20. So 21 is the number to beat. Yeah.
Fuck?
I lucked out like crazy. They had advantage because there's so many of them. And I got a 12 and a 20. So, yep. Sometimes, welcome to the Chaos Plateau. All right, so Berg, you're gonna roll athletics with disadvantage, and then I'll roll.
Am I now?
For,
I gotta be.
the idea is that two of the three of you need to beat this roll. So even if Little Action fails, which probably will happen here, let me roll for him first. Okay, so Little Action, athletics. Yeah, no, so there's your fail. So it means that Yota and Berg both need to you need to beat that with an athletics check. Or if you have another skill you think
I beat it. I get a what? No, I'm just getting disadvantage. Fucking Little Action, you bastard!
Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? You're having to like pull him along, and he's stumbling and gasping and like having a really rough time, and he keeps looking up at you with these big gray eyes, like I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm trying so hard, and he keeps like falling, and you can tell that and I think at one point he says to you between like gasps, he's like, leave me behind. It's fine. Just go. But we'll get to that. Yota, can you make your roll?
Is that athletics you said?
It can be athletics, or yeah, I think it has to be athletics for you because you're carrying Ramus. You're being a pack animal.
Not Constitution.
No.
Okay. All right. Here we go. 0 bonus. It's a just straight roll, right? No disadvantage or advantage, right?
Correct.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh, damn.
Fucking nailed it.
Okay. So you're in a position where you might have been able to get away, but I'm gonna give you all a choice. So that's the choice, right, Berg? Is there's a moment where like you're pulling him along, he's stumbling, Little Action looks up at you, he's like tripping over his robes, and he looks up at you and he's just like, just leave me behind. I'll try to slow them down. You go. If you leave him behind, the crowd will swarm. The crowd will swarm him, and you'll be able to get another chance to slip away.
He's gonna come back.
You can
it doesn't
stop.
even matter if he dies. It's cool. He'll come back probably.
Now remember, that death is not the thing he's afraid of. Now, death isn't something that anyone here is afraid of.
I don't remember what he was afraid of. I didn't listen to him.
I mean, the thing is, if you can die and come back an infinite number of times, it means you can go through the process of being killed an infinite number of times. And if these nerds are looking for you guys and they have him, they're gonna grill him aggressively about where you are. But yeah, what do you want to do?
So basically, don't save him because I care about him. Save him because it benefits.
I mean, I don't care what you do, but
I know you just want to hurt. It's clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does this mean? Like Berg has to like take some extra effort to and risk potentially getting caught in order to grab little action.
So if you, here's the thing: is you're in the moment.
Yeah.
You're in the moment where if you stop, they will get around you. You will not be able to run away. You'll have to confront them, which either means a fight or whatever.
I mean, brother.
If you let go of him, because he's not even holding your like you're pulling him by the wrist. If he looks at you and he's like, leave me behind. If you let him go, he'll turn around. They'll get on him, and you will get away.
Yeah, fuck him. We're gone. Worth the
Okay.
risk.
All right. So there's a moment like he looks at you, and instead of looking at you like, what? No, I didn't mean it. He nods like, yep, this is the right thing to do. And he only looks at you for a second, Berg. He looks over at Ramus, and then somebody grabs him and like yanks him back, and they kind of like pile on him as you slip away.
It's the lesser of two evils.
So now you want to hide? The group of you?
Oh, Chad, don't get so sad. He's gonna come right back if he dies. So what?
I say up to Ramus, who's up on my back. I just tell him, guide me well and hold on, because I'm fucking fast.
It's true, you are. Yeah. So you get away enough that they fall behind you. The crowd of mind controlled swarm little action and grab them, and the three of you I was gonna say slip away, but you run off and you get out of sight of them. But it's not over yet, right? Some of them will keep following you. Again, you've bought yourself time. You're out of line of sight. What are you gonna do?
Shut up, Jake.
Look for an alleyway for us to go down and try to lose them through there. Like,
So you want
off
to,
of the
you
main
want to,
room.
you want to hide and slip away into the crowd. Okay.
Sometimes in
All right.
D&D, I just imagine that it's like a holodeck, but just an alleyway appears. You know, because that's always the go-to. An alleyway. Computer.
There's always
alleyway.
an inlet. There's always an inlet or a fjord. Okay, so let's get stealth checks from in this case all three of you, and then I'll have them go looking for you. Let's see how it goes. Ramus.
I'm not being very
Yota. Guys.
Stealth Master Berg.
God damn it.
I'm gone.
Burke should have disadvantage because of his armor, right? Or no?
Don't you have luck
boy.
or something, Ramus?
That's amazing. He does, but the thing is, like, if you're sticking together, it's the lowest of the stealth. Like the least stealthy person is the problem.
Yeah.
I
So
just wish I was
sense.
not being
Fool
brought
of a
down by
took.
this non-stealthy group. I mean, me, of course, being the stealthiest.
okay, so let's roll. The crowd doesn't have advantage anymore because some of them are now distracted with little action. And I think little action is we cut back to little action, and he's struggling to he's trying to fight them off because he's trying to buy you time, and we see one of the members of the crowd draw a knife and just stick it in his neck, and like black blood just spurts out, and he kind of gasps and falls down, and then they start dragging his quickly dying body away.
See, that's a quick death. It's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, he'll come back, but it's the fastest way to stop him from struggling, right? Just kill him, and then whatever, they can drag him away.
Yeah.
So he has this kind of like startled look on his face, and then fades into darkness as half of them like drag him away. The rest of the crowd spreads out, and we hear the king, who approaches now, and we see her, and she's riding on a like a black horse. This horse is it's like an ebon steed, and there is smoke drifting from its nostrils. And she's on this like ornate looking ivory saddle, and she rides up behind the crowd, people scattering, and she looks around and she screams, "Where is he? Bring him to me!" And the rest of the crowd run off to find you. And let's see if they manage to do so. Well, y'all got 7s, but I rolled a 4.
Nice.
So you're good. So they cannot find you. They spread out into the crowd, and they go looking for you, and cannot find where you have gone to. And so the 3 of you disappear into the crowd.
Nice.
And the king is thwarted, and she's pissed.
Good.
Cool. Okay.
Good.
So the king now has her hands on a little action. And I think probably we see like the beat here to let us know that she's given up is that there is like a search. There's a search bit where they go looking for you, and you hide out in the crowd. Maybe there's a moment where Yota, you have the tablecloth up over your head, and you're hiding in the shadows, and a bunch of them like run by, and we cut back to the king. And they don't have to communicate with her. She can just like read their minds. And one of them comes back, and his eyes have this kind of like glossy, like black color to them as her magic works over their will. And she snarls, and she turns the horse around, and she says, "Keep searching. I'm going to see if this one knows anything." And she turns back and rides home to interrogate Little Action. So meanwhile, elsewhere, the laboratory / bug farm of Obstinate Bugfucker.
It's just a tent. It's just a glorified tent.
It's a tent. It's just a tent. It's fine. A big plastic tent.
Don't start thinking about castles and lightning striking in the background. No, it's just a tent.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. It's a big semi-transparent tent made out of insect hides.
Yeah.
It's fine. So we cut back to this room in the triage tent, and I think we see the outside of the tent. We see the bubbling farms, right? We see the swampland, this obvious like blasted waste, and then we hear a young woman screaming. Actually, it's a good parallel because we had all the screaming from the king before. This is the scream of someone who has just been like shocked awake. Someone dumped a bucket of ice water on her, and so she starts awake. We hear this scream. We cut to the interior. We see Maharib looking slightly pale, but you're gray all the time. So
Yeah.
like maybe like a little more gray.
Yeah, a little blue or gray, maybe.
Yeah. And Bugfucker has scrambled backwards in surprise. He's probably standing behind you now, and on the table. We see Gun Princess, scream out loud, sit up, fall off the table, scramble nakedly away from you, grab her head, and she starts babbling. And it sounds to us as an audience like nonsense. There's no subtitles. It's this like strange kind of like grumbling language that sounds like rocks being tumbled together, and she's like babbling to herself and clutching her head, knocking things over with her horns, and she's like scrambled away. There isn't really a corner of the room, but she scrambles back away from the two of you. But Maharib, you can understand her. She is speaking in, what is it, Giant?
Yeah.
Giant is the language that there's no way she should know this language, but she's speaking it. And she's not making any sense though. She's just babbling nonsense. She's saying words, but none of them like matter. She's not stringing sentences together. She's just like rambling. And she's like scrambled to the back of the room and is hallucinating or freaking out. Who knows? This is what you see. Maharib, what are you going to do?
Is Bugfucker still in the tent?
Yeah, he's standing behind you. Right? Something dangerous happened, and he like leapt behind you because you were the biggest, scariest person in the room.
Okay. Man, what would... Is there... What was that?
Nothing.
Well, is there still the like cloth that we had draped over her when she was still dead?
Yeah.
Okay. I think
It's on the floor now.
Yeah, I think I hastily like grab that and walk over to her and shroud her in that.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you start walking over, and she looks up at you, and you see in her face, right? Like she has this. Just to give everybody like a quick reminder of what she looks like. So she has this like beautiful like cyan skin, and she has a mouthful of sharp teeth. She's got big like canines, big curled back horns, and then like black hair kind of in between her horns. She has kind of like a mohawk like braid thing. And normally, like you've seen her face before. She would look up at you, opens her eyes, and you would see these like amber kind of like snake goat kind of looking eyes. But it's like looking into the eyes of a Goliath for the first time in like, Jesus, I don't know. When was the last time you saw eyes like this before, Maharib?
I probably can't even remember. Like,
right?
It's been that long.
So you're striding across the room holding this sheet. And she looks up at you, and you look into like your people's eyes. Is there a reaction? Like, does Maharib stop? You stumble over that at all, or do you push through?
I think internally there's just like a shit. Like not necessarily like a bad reaction, but not necessarily a good reaction. Just like, oh God, I understand what's happening here because of what they said to me in the past in terms of how the Mara changes the people here. And so with what Bugfucker told me with the quote juice that is within my body, he kind of understands what has happened here, especially with her speaking words of giant. And so I'm slowly like approaching her with this cloth that we had draped over her. I think in giant, I'll just say like, welcome back.
What? Well, let's see if you can calm her down first, because she's panicking.
Sure.
She's like she's like, there's like random like Bugfucker garbage laying around. And so she spins her head to look at you and like wide-eyed. She looks like a scared animal. Make a I want to say persuade, but I think it's persuade just because that's the only skill that anyone has for doing anything. Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Let's do animal handling because I'm proficient in that, and she's scared like an animal.
Yeah.
He's considered. Hey, we want him over.
No, completely. Yeah, that's completely fine. Yes, totally.
Great.
I did describe her as being like a frightened animal. You have animal handling. It's yes. Do it.
Great.
Proud of you.
Great. It's probably still going to go bad.
All right. Yeah, I think a 12 is sufficient.
Okay.
So she's like backed into the corner, backed away, and she's like breathing hard and looking at you, and she bares her teeth. She's got this mouthful of sharp teeth. You definitely don't want her biting you. And she like snarls at you. What do you say to calm her down? Because you've got this like sheet.
I think like before I got closer, I said welcome back, and then the words that I would hope would calm her down are, you died, but now you're back. Thanks to this man. And he like points to Bugfucker behind him and hopefully like comes in waves or something. And then I approach closer and try to wrap her in the cloth. Or at least put the cloth on her and shroud her in it.
Okay, and you're speaking giant?
Yeah.
Does Maharib mean anything literally translated? Like if you translate it into common, like does the name Maharib mean something?
Yes. I need to look it up again.
Yeah, you remember what it is. Yeah, that's fine.
I forgot what language that is. I think it means like. Oh, it means like warrior, combatant, fighter, militant, that type of stuff.
Okay. All right. So yeah, she looks up at you, and she says, in giant, I recognize your voice, warrior. Where am I? Who is this man? Where are my clothes? And she like snatches the cloth from you, like wraps it around herself.
When she says, "Who is this man?" Is she looking at Bugfucker?
Yeah. Now, Bugfucker, you know, and we know, if Bugfucker had understood that, he would have been heartbroken.
Yeah.
He's still like, "What's going on? Why are you speaking in this language?" But he doesn't understand anything that either of you are saying.
Right. Okay, so she says, "Where am I? What's going on? Who is this man?"
Yeah.
We are at a farm where you told me to meet you. This man saved your life. He is your longtime friend.
She stands up and she kind of like has wrapped the thing around herself. And again, like, this is the thing. So she wraps this piece of cloth around her, and not just like a towel, right? Like she wraps it and she knots it at her shoulder in a very specific way, again, that you have not seen in a long time, right? Like this is a way that like women wear like robes amongst your tribe. So she just like wraps it without thinking, just wraps it and like ties this knot by her neck, and she scowls and she says, "I don't recognize you. I don't know this place. I don't know him." A farm, he said. What do they grow here? Scowls and looks around.
The bugs that you use for your weapon. That's why you come here.
She scowls at you. What? And you notice that as she stands up, her body language. So Gun Princess had this very kind of like squirrely like effect to her. She was kind of twitchy and she hunched her shoulders. But now she's standing like tall with her shoulders back, and even though you're taller than her, she's got this kind of imperious effect where she's looking at you like, "What the hell? You don't know what's going on. I'm in charge here, clearly." And she says, "You're speaking nonsense. I don't understand. You said I was dead?"
Yes, we brought you back. There was an unfortunate circumstance, but you're alive now. And different.
"I don't feel well. My head is foggy." And she leans over and she says to the Bugfucker in giant, she says, and this would be, we would cut to Giant's to Bugfucker's perspective, so we hear her making these like this rumbling language, and we get subtitles. And she says to him, "This warrior says that you saved my life. I don't know if I can believe him or not, but if it's true, I owe you a debt." And he just looks at her like, and he says in comment to you, he's like, "What is going on? You can understand her? What language is that? What's happening? Look at her eyes." And he's just kind of like babbling to himself, but kind of trying to get answers out of you, like you have them.
Yeah, I respond to her first in giant and say, like, "You should rest. He does not understand our language, but I will make sure he is aware of what is going on."
Good. You see, your priest, this shaman, you own this farm? Where's your wife?
You should rest. I'll fill you in afterwards. There's a lot to learn.
Bring me something to eat. I'm hungry.
I think Maharib starts to realize that, like, he's back in the tribe, and he has to actually like assert dominance. Here.
Right. She's bossing you around like she's the elder or the tribal. Yeah, she's the matriarch, and she's like, "Oh, obviously like there's a warrior around. I'm on a farm. I don't recognize this shaman. You must belong to me, so I'm going to tell you what to do, right? Like, go and fetch me some food, warrior. Like, maybe she thinks you're her concubine or something. That's why she asked, like, where's your wife? It was really like, do you belong to me?
Right. So she says that, and Maharib, like, mentally understands what's happening and just...
You piece it together,
in a very, like, overpowering statement, just says, like, you do not rule here. Let us make that clear.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
I don't have inspiration, but I'll take it. It's a -2. Come on, crit. 14, not bad.
14? Okay. All right, so let me roll. She's a little shaky, so I'm going to roll with disadvantage. But let's see. She's pretty willful, but she's got disadvantage.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, what happened? Did you roll a 2? A 6?
No, I put the macro in wrong. All right, so 17 or 14. 14. Okay. So Ty goes to the defender. I think that in this case, because you tied, right? You got a 14 on a 14. Yeah. You're like, you're not in charge here. She believes that, but she doesn't think you're in charge either.
Sure.
So she just like scoffs. You see her nostrils flare, and she's like, "We'll see." Like, you can see her think, like, "We'll see about that." And yeah, and she's like looking around, and you can see she's trying to be stoic, right? Like she's tired and her head is spinning, but she doesn't want to seem weak in front of you or this weird shaman. And you don't know if it's the body language or an effect of the juice, but she seems taller than she was before.
Right. Okay.
And so she's you're like, you're not in charge here, and she, fine. Then who is?
Again, you should sleep. I will explain afterwards. A lot has happened.
I feel like I have slept enough. But I will rest. And she goes and she sits down on the like bed. She was sitting on the like table thing. And the whole time Bugfucker is just looking at her like, what is going on?
Right.
And and so she sits down, folds her arms over her chest, and you can see her just like kind of like breathing and trying to relax. And Bugfucker like gestures for you. Come over here.
Yeah,
we need to have a conversation.
I walk over.
Okay.
Come here.
Yeah.
Come here.
And so so the two of you kind of like walk over, and he's like, "What is going on? What language was that? How do you understand her? What is she speaking?"
Yeah. So like the first word out of my mouth is still in giant, but then I realize what I'm doing in his face. I change back into. She is changed. Has that happened before? Have you done one of those transfusions and had someone not be themselves afterwards?
I have never done anything like that before. We were trying something new, and I didn't know what would happen, so that's why I'm so curious about all of the language speaking and her eyes changing. You understood her.
She was speaking a language that is only known to my people and my kind, so I believe whatever happened in that transfusion has changed her to one of my own.
Must mean that the juice has kind of resonance with your memory. I mean, it shouldn't be possible. It's just energy, but...
Yeah, I've learned that a lot of things shouldn't be possible, but here we are.
She seems different. You think she's all right?
She'll be okay. She just woke up from dying. I would assume that's normal, is it not?
It can be a traumatizing experience, especially when you're forced to revive. If she didn't want to come back, and we made her, it could have caused some instability. That was a risk. I mean, Gun Princess isn't the most stable person to begin with, so I thought that it would be acceptable. But she's here and she's awake, and that's what counts.
She
She didn't seem to remember me.
Yes, she might have a hard time doing so if she has taken on my memories and my people's memories. I want that to be clear. I believe she's still herself somewhat, but she didn't seem to remember much, if anything at all. She'll want answers when she wakes up.
He says, that I have seen before. Loss of memory. Forgetting. Sometimes when we take a swim in the Black River, we don't come back quite the same. And he looks, and you only notice this because you've dug through his books. When he says that, he looks over at his like stack of books, kind of like, and there's a pained look on his face. No matter. And he immediately tries to pass it off. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't even notice that he's doing it. And he says, but no matter. She's awake. She's speaking. And even though she's speaking a language I can't understand, I've got you to translate for me. So she'll be fine, I'm sure.
I think he finishes his statement. He sees me like staring at the books. I turn back. And, this is what you were researching. Was it not? This idea of coming back and remembering things. It was part of it.
So he lies to you flat out. He just says, no, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Those old things, they belong to a different man. He's gone now. I just breed the bugs, make the slugs, and sell them. Nothing else.
I reach out and like put my arm on his shoulder to try to like center him in a sense. And
he definitely tries to flinch away, but if you just like squeeze the shoulder a little, he can't.
Yeah, totally. And say, that may have been a different man, but I believe he still resides within you.
Make a persuasion.
I'm just persuading all the motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're just throwing your charisma around today.
Oh, God, -2 here. Oh, that's a 0.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a
Yeah,
tough
you
roll.
see, we all see in his eyes the rejection of that idea. And it's not because he's angry. It's not because he just, and I think this came up before, right? He can't
I've tried
believe
to like,
that's possible.
yeah, I've tried before.
Yeah,
And it didn't
like
work.
it's hope, and he can't afford himself that because he might be disappointed again. You see that you are trying to ignite a spark in a pile of ash, and he pulls away from you, and he says, "We have more important things to worry about, like making sure she's all right. I have to run tests. I need my equipment." And he shuffles away from you, like, "Fuck off! I don't want to think about this."
So now the mental process that was once in his head is now out loud, and he walks out, and Mahir's just like, shit. He's just like looking around and everything.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we see you walk out, and the big green sun hangs above you, and you're just like, shit. And then we cut back to Ramusburg and in Yotozo. So where do you end up, Ramus? It sounded like you were leading them to Miss Tippett's. Is that still the plan?
yeah. Once every time we see that the people searching for us aren't near, we start moving slowly towards Miss Tippett's, trying to find a place to hide here and make our way slowly over there over the course of the day.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that when we cut back to you, the three of you are going inside. We see the exterior shot of Miss Tippett's, and we see you coming inside. And yeah, it's pretty busy. It was busy before, so yeah, the tables are all full of like rough-looking adventure types. You see people with big bags of strange equipment, lots of like glass canisters and pipes, and yeah, everybody here, like with before, they're either human, a strange-looking like alien creature because tieflings all look quite different, or they're the gray-skinned void genasi. And there's probably like 30 or 40 people in here, all in like different tables, all talking, and there's this vibe in this place of like frontier town, right, where they're bragging about their latest catch and drinking and talking. And so you come in from the street, hearts pounding from your narrow escape, but under the knowledge that you are still being hunted.
Whenever
so
you say frontier town, I just think of like an old prospector, like horrible teeth.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of what they are, right? Like they're the vein hunters are prospectors. They find a vein of mystical energy, and then they go in and they tap it, and they bring its resources out. They get the gold, and they go back to the town. Yeah. So that's very true. Yeah. That's sort of what Little Action is, right? He's the diviner. He's the one that finds the vein in the first place. So yeah, so you come in and nobody really notices you, right? You kind of could be weird tieflings that people haven't seen before, or altered humans. And yeah, so you come inside, and what do you do?
I can't remember. Did we have a room here that was paid for?
Yeah, you still have a few coins, and I think that you did. Yeah, I think you did secure a room for the night at least.
Okay, so I think I make sure she's paid for the room. I pay now that I have coins. I give her a coin for us to have a room for the night. And then we go upstairs and talk there.
Okay, all right. So we follow you, heading up the stairs into a room. Okay.
Yota, what the hell happened to you? What was going on in there?
It seems I was taken as a pet by Her Majesty there, the little girl who was shouting. That was the king. And I did my best to play the part until I saw my opportunity to escape. Got in her good graces, so to speak. And they run the place very, very much like a comedy. A lot of animosity between the rulership. The queen, who is, he looks like made up, very aristocratic.
We met him.
You did?
On accident. The man that was with us, Little Action, he spilled a drink all over the queen. And I barely talked my way out of it.
Oh, I highly doubt it was an accident. He probably had his eyes on you and looked for his opportunity to make the acquaintance, because it was a plan of his to have me escape, and he wants the king to look bad, and this was his plan, to have me escape and make the king look a fool. Hopefully, we'll meet again, because he has my possessions, and he agreed that he would give them back to me. You say did you meet here?
No, we met just before your little show. He invited us up to his VIP booth, but I didn't know anything about him, if he could be trusted, or... So, would you say that they're enemies, the king and the queen, fighting each other?
Politics. It's the curse of their station. Everybody's always trying to assassinate and usurp and the like.
Wow, it's so unlike our world. The king, the queen, the page, and the knight are like united as one, not fighting it with each other.
Oh yes, if we're talking about the mortals, but in any other situation, the rulers of places fight constantly for control. Maharibra here, I bet he could tell you similar stories about tribal peoples and who is made the leader of the group. Strength.
If Mahari were here, he'd tell you that for doing this in his tribe, you would be killed.
Speaking of that, was he with you? We got separated.
As far as I know, Maharib never made it in the city.
Oh damn.
Last I saw of him, I was running by him, and the judge at the gate ran me through with some sort of appendage. And it was all black from then. I woke up. Oh, by the way, in captivity, this is just a side note. In captivity, they have what appears to be a giant wolf beast. And by giant, I mean, how tall would you say it was, Adam?
I don't think you ever got a good look at it. Colossal, like just enormous.
Okay. Giant. And I mean, 8-10 times my height.
Sounds like Aorta's work. Making
Who?
creatures. Oh, Berg and I have been trying to find a way to get some money to shelter. So I got these coins here. There's a job that we can do for this. They call it flesh crafting, where they like take your body and always add, never subtract pieces to your body and change you.
I've not heard the term, but I've seen the page. The page of this court is a giant eyeless. Well, eyeless is not proper, but it's a head.
He's got a lot going on
with a mouth and teeth. When he opened its mouth. There were eyes on the inside of his mouth. Did you say it was a face as well? Or
they saw him too. Yeah, Berg and Ramus saw him too. Yeah, he was with the queen.
Okay. And that's who currently has
was the page. Wow, we saw that thing.
Yes. He has my jug currently, and hopefully the queen seems to be in control of the page, so I can get it back. But did you make a deal with the queen or any sort of arrangement?
Actually, I told the queen where we were staying, and he said he would stop by for tea.
Well, we should be back there immediately then.
Yeah, we might be able to use this infighting to our advantage, but the queen seemed very slippery. I don't know. Based on what you told me, I don't know if we can trust anything he says.
Well, trust or no, I have no choice in the matter. It's
he promised you
I
your
have
jug.
to trust that he'll give me what he agreed upon. I mean, he seemed to be a person of his word. Once given.
Well,
but
as I was saying before, with Aorta, there's a job we can do. There's a massive vein out in the wilderness that is going to be opening soon, and we could be the first ones inside. And we don't know what's going to be in there. But somehow these veins are tied with the fountain's energy, and I don't know how. I have a feeling there's something in there that we could use or figure out like how these worlds connect. We got through somehow. There must be a way back.
No, maybe if the veins can take us back, then we won't have to even come back. But we must find Maharib.
Another piece of news that might be important to know. Mara, the absolute ruler of this place, is said to be coming. The fool in verse. That's what they called him.
An actual Mara here?
Yes.
That would be horrible for us.
Yes, possibly. I mean, not even possibly, probably, but Mara might be our only chance of getting back to our realm. No one else seems to know anything about it. I tried to suss out some information about possibly going through some sort of portal to get back home, and no one seemed to know. It seemed to defer to the Mara.
Yeah. How often does the king or the queen in our world tell peasants their plans or their secrets?
I think this is like looking at a smudged mirror of what we have in our realm, mockery, so to speak. And it doesn't work the same.
Everything here is definitely unlike the other side. Everything is different. There's nothing that's the same. There's similarities, but there's nothing that's quite. It's like they took everything in this world and changed it to be the opposite or different. Even death. But yeah, we need to find Maharib. We need to go to this vein with this stupid fool that we're traveling with. What was the name, Adam?
Berg.
The name of the stupid fool you're traveling with. I think his name. I was gonna say, I think his name is Berg. He's standing right there.
I'm right here.
The more recent one that we just met. We
just need to take this idiot to the vein, and Berg's like, it's okay, Berg, we'll be fine. Do you mean one last job, or you've got quite a few new friends here? So
I think it's one last job. The guy that knew Abe or yeah,
the guy you were buttering up before. Yeah. That's one last job. I think his full name is One Last Job. I swear.
One Last Job. I swear. He's the one that hooked us up with Aorta. You have to play along, be nice to him, laugh at his jokes until we get to the vein, and then see what we can find inside. At the very least, if we can't find anything in there, we can at least get some money from this Aorta and figure out where to go from there. They use these weird coins as currency, and I hold one up to you.
I look at it. Is it like any metal I recognize, or?
Maybe, like, kinda. Like, it's cold when you touch it, despite having been like in Ramus's pocket. It is got a greenish kind of oily tint to it, and it seems to be made out of iron. It's real heavy. Maybe iron and lead, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you said that Maharib has never made it in, then we need to find a way out.
Well, I mean, the only place that he could possibly have or be holed up is the farm that Gun Princess spoke of.
Mud chucker or something.
Bug fucker, bug face, bug something. I remember.
Obstinate bug friender.
Obstinate Mr. Falcon.
That's right, exactly.
Okay. But we should make our way to the was it a tea house, you said?
Well, the The queen said that she would be coming. The queen said that he would be coming here to have tea.
Oh.
But I don't know if that was he meant it or just politeness.
Oh, well, the queen is our best chance to not only get my items back, but also to get out of the city unnoticed. Someone with connections, whether they can be trusted or not, is less important than them being our only means of contact in the city.
Through the floorboards, you hear the sound of raised voices below. There is some argument that is just started downstairs, and it sounds more serious. Actually, make insight checks. You can all make one. Okay, so 15 for Ramus, 16
Insight,
for Yodazo. Insight, yeah. Berg does not.
No surprise there.
Berg hears shouting. So there's some like angry voices. So Yota and Ramus, you pick up a little bit more information. You can hear an older like woman arguing authoritatively with one or more other people. You can't pick out the words, but it definitely sounds like Miss Tippett arguing with, or like there's some kind of confrontation with some people downstairs. And Miss Tippett is one of the belligerents of that confrontation. It's like loud enough to get your attention.
Something's going on downstairs. Perhaps we should peek and see what's going on.
Well, it would do me no good to be seen by anyone.
Yes.
If word gets out that they're looking for some sort of creature with tusks. One thing. I haven't seen another one of my kind here, but the king, the little girl, she recognized, well, not me, but my bigger form of my species. We know elephants? I know what an elephant is.
Yes, yeah, elephants are sacred animals in the Court of Swords.
Okay,
and they're like, I feel like I was gonna say that but this is an evolution thing. I think elephants to Gaja are like orangutan or gorilla are to humans. Like there's some comparison, but there's no evolution in this world. So it's not like you're connected. You just look the same, and you're both sacred. You're made in the image of heaven's chosen, or whatever, right?
Gotcha.
So it's a bit different, but you know that there's a connection because obviously you look the same.
Right. She seemed to recognize me as an elephant, part of my ancestry. She had one previously. She said she gave me that little elephant, or she showed me the little elephant statue or whatever.
Nope, there's no elephant statue. She just told you about that. She reminded you of a toy she had once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could have sworn there was like a trinket or something. Yeah.
That was just chat screaming at you.
Okay. Yeah. She seemed to recognize my species, or the old down the line version, the elephants. It's very strange.
I haven't seen many animals. We've seen some animals in the woods, but maybe there is an elephant out there somewhere. Or maybe it slipped its way in from the other side. Who knows?
If you two want to go in and make contact, I will wait out here. Stay undercover.
Well, you two stay up here. I'll just peek downstairs in my cloak just to see what's going on. And if it's trouble, I'll come right back.
If you need us, just
So
whistle.
Ramus, You're gonna go and take a look.
Yeah, just walk down the stairs a bit just to see what the commotion is.
All right. So as you like pull your cloak around your shoulders, pull your hood up, and skulk to the bottom of the stairs to peer around, everyone in the tap room is focused on this argument between Miss Tippett and a half dozen armed clowns, basically. Like they're wearing the like the doublets and the makeup, and they look like juggalos. It's like a bunch of angry looking juggalos, and they're
talk
shouting. They're like,
clowns? Are they-
no, they're speaking like thugs, if anything.
Okay.
And they're arguing, and Miss Tippett, I think she's getting yelled at right now by one of the guys who says, "The fool in verse doesn't care about your damn rules, Tippett. And if you reject us now, when he arrives, you're going to regret it. We know that they're here." And Miss Tippett puts her hands up and she says, "You know the pact. Yormara doesn't rule here. None do. This place is neutral ground. Now you, your clown friends, get the hell out of my bar." And and they're like looking around, clearly, Ramus, like searching for you. And the other vein hunters are looking like, you can see many of them like hand on their sword or like holding a rifle under the table, waiting for like shit to happen. And they all seem to be on Miss Tippett's side, right? They're all ready to be like, if these guys draw weapons, they are toast. We're gonna get rid of them. And then the clown snarls and he spits on the floor, and he says, "We'll be back, Tippett. You're gonna regret this." And the group of them turn and walk out, and she just shakes her head. And a couple of the vein hunters all look at her. One of them nearby like puts his hand on her back, like, pats her on the back, like, "We got you." And she shakes her head and she's just like, "These assholes always trying to cause trouble, always trying to cause trouble." And she like, you see her go to get a mop to like clean up the spit on the floor. So you, Ramus, you witness this, and I think that a vein hunter nearby, one near you, maybe coming down the stairs, he looks at you and he says, "They always think that every time there's a change of the guard, they have to start throwing their weight around. Just like the last time and the time before that, the time before that. Some things never change, huh?"
And Miss Tippett always kicks their ass out.
They should know better by now. Where are you going to find more dangerous individuals than here? I mean, she's nice on the surface, but look at her friends. And
I would never want to
grins
cross
at
her.
you. Yeah, he grins at you, and as if to prove his point, so you can see his mouth. Looks human for the most part. He's got like a goatee and kind of like ratty dreadlocks, and he grins, and all of his teeth are like sharp layers of shark teeth, and they move, so they like shift around in his mouth when he smiles at you, and he says, "I always hope they draw. They never do. Cowards." And he
One
pushes
day.
past you, and he pushes past you, nodding like, "Yeah, one day we'll get our chance." And he goes into the crowd.
I think after that, I go back upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you head back upstairs, and we fade back in. Maharib, what are you doing when we come back to you? It's been a little bit, like maybe an hour or so, and Bugfucker has brought some equipment in to like run some tests on Gun Princess, who, like, she's like, "Fine, shaman, do whatever you got to do," and she kind of like scowls at him, but she doesn't seem like, she seems like she feels like she's in control of the situation. Like, she's like, "Yep, everything's fine. I have nothing to be scared of." What are you doing while he's running these tests?
I think I'm like standing behind Bugfucker like a overbearing family member or something like that.
Right. Okay.
Making sure
So
that,
we
like,
see
whatever he's
Bug.
doing, I understand what he's doing and stuff.
Make an Arcana check. I don't think this is something you recognize, but There's a chance. Chaos Plateau might.
Nope.
Nope. Never mind.
That's one.
Okay, you have no idea. He's doing some kind of weird geomancy. Like he has like a bowl that he's mortar and pestled some stuff in, and then he like wipes it on her arm, and then it changes color. And he makes notes in his book, and then he takes out like a lead weight and like holds it in front of her face and watches to see if it moves. He's doing a bunch of kind of weird old-timey alchemical tests on her, and he keeps going back to this book. He's got this book set down, and he's got a pen, and when he goes to write, you can watch, and his hands like shake when he tries to write, to the point where at one point he has to like hold his wrist with his other hand and like steady it to write, and then he gets mad and he like slams the book shut and like walks away. And at that point, Gun Princess looks up at you, and she sneers. And she says, I think your shaman is broken.
He doubts himself. That's all. He'll figure it out. Whatever it is.
Doubt is for the weak. Will is what makes us strong. Belief that all that we do is right. Is that not correct?
Yes, you seem to be remembering. Doesn't make sense. What? Who do you believe yourself to be? Let's start there.
I don't know. Can't remember. I have memories lost in fog. Feelings. I feel strong. Feel well in a way doesn't match with mist in my head. This place seems strange to me, but familiar somehow. As do you. I know your face. Cannot place why. She holds her hands up, like looks at them, and she's got her little black claws and her blue skin, and she looks at you and she says, we're not the same, but I feel like you are kin. Can't explain it. What do you know about me? Help me fill these gaps.
Mahrib like hesitates for a second to answer. I think he'll walk over into the corner where he's stabbed Bahath into the ground and like takes it out of the ground, the tip of the blade, and walks over and like left hand is holding the hilt and the other hand's holding the tip of the blade and like presents it to Gun Princess and tells her to like grab the end of the blade. Let's see what you really know about your people.
Yeah, and she looks at it and you can see her smile. And you've seen the way that people look at your sword. You know how people look at your sword.
Yeah.
Where they're like sometimes it's like admiration, more often greed. She has this look like, yes, what a fine weapon. And she looks at you and she says, what's going to happen? Is your sword going to speak to me?
I don't know. It's part of why I'm doing this.
It is a beautiful blade. A bit heavy for me. And she reaches out, kind of like she's a little uncertain, but she's trying to seem like tough. So she's just like puts her hands on it. And what is Mahrib expecting or thinking might happen?
I think he's hoping that with her, with the giant blood that has been passed down, she'll understand more of like who I am within our culture. And so that she'll understand a little bit more to have like reverence, but also have an understanding of who she might be from that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's make a roll to see if the like slumbering power of the sword responds to her, or not, and if so, how. So yeah, she reaches out, she places her hand. On the
Can I give her
flat of-
or can I give her advantage somehow in this by like, I don't know, Let me try to think of a way to coerce you.
Yeah, well, I think that like there's a difference between what Maharib thinks will happen and like if Maharib unconsciously is making that happen, right? Because it's your sword, right? So what you want all of those things to happen,
right?
You're trying to make the sword do that for her. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll roll with advantage. Let's say like she's a strange alien creature, but she does have giant blood, which is why she's able to roll in the first place. Let's say DC 14.
Nice.
So I got an 11 and an 8. So yeah, the number you're saying, that 19 there is not the right one. Look at the 8 and the 11.
So she got 13.
So she got So she puts her hands on the sword, and we hear from her perspective, right? We hear what she hears, we see what she sees, and she sees fire. Right, she sees flame. We hear the screech that we haven't seen this. We've heard the sound before. It's likely if in the show of this, it's a sound effect like cut from a previous episode. We heard this noise last when Maharib was in the cage. Remember that out front of the fire cult?
Yeah.
It's the sound of the fire dragon, right? We hear the screech of the dragon. We hear the burning of fire. We can see like flashes of like a Goliath village being attacked, and all of it in this oversaturated red, orange and black palette that we have not seen at all in the void, right? Probably the brightest color she's ever experienced. And she pulls her hands away, and the blade is smoking. There's smoke drifting up off the blade, and there are two like dark handprints on it, and her hands like smoldering. And she looks at you, and she shakes her head and she says, in giant, "What witchcraft is this? Are you trying to kill me?"
Absolutely not. I was hoping it would show you something, but it appears you're not ready yet, or
I saw
may never be.
Saw something terrible. It slips from my mind like a nightmare. What is it?
I think he like takes the sword and he's hesitating. He's trying to buy himself some time to think how he wants to answer this. It is what guides me. It's why I'm here. It's why I've always existed. I was hoping it would give you some source of purpose, but...
Well, we make an interesting pair then. I have no memory of who I am or what I'm doing here. You seem to have a surplus of intent. Perhaps the gods put us together for a reason.
Perhaps.
And she looks, and she looks past you, and you turn and look over your shoulder, and you see Bugfucker standing there. He's kind of recomposed himself, and he looks like he's waiting to like, let me finish my job. And she says to you, like, tell your weakling shaman to hurry up and finish whatever it is he needs to do. I'm feeling cooped up. I want to get a look around this place, see where I am.
Fair enough. I turn around and speak in common. Do you have many more tests? I believe she wants to try her new body out.
You say that, and can you make an insight check?
-1. Big old insight check. Hey, I rolled an 18, though.
Ooh, got an 18. Okay, so... Bugfucker has been building like resentment because... So here's the situation. Maharib recognizes this. Now you can think about how you know this, but... So here's the thing, right? So Obstinate Bugfucker got rejected by society at large. Right. He thinks everybody hates him. He hates everybody because everybody's so mean to him. He cannot remember what horrible crime he committed that made everybody hate him, and now everybody does. So he has to live out here in the swamp by himself. Now, Bugfucker has one friend in the whole world, and she comes to visit him, and she's kind of like a weird jerk too, and they get along, and he's like kind of in love with her, and maybe she's in love with him, but they never, it's a thing. And then all of a sudden, this like big tough warrior guy comes along, and she gets killed. And now the two of them spend all this time like speaking a language he doesn't understand, and she's like different because she like is interacting with him. Now he's mad because he thinks that you were trying to take her away from him. Right? He's like, no, she's my friend. You can't have her with your fucking giant language and your secrets. And he gives you a look that is somewhere between, I hate you so much, I wish you were dead, and I wish I could be you because obviously you're cooler than me because look at how she's responding to you. So he's like heartbroken and angry. And you see all of this like in a moment looking into his eyes like damn you bastard.
Yeah.
But he cares about her. So he's like, he just looks down and he says, it's fine. I'm done. She seems all right.
I think Mahrib's like really conflicted right now with this. Like,
Yeah.
You stole her.
Yeah.
You stole her for yourself.
Why are you Irish?
So she's
Don't question the voices.
oh, Mahrib, what have you done? Get out of my house.
Yeah,
You fucking bastard.
Stole
right.
her for yourself.
So
No!
she's standing up now, and she's behind you, and she says to you, she's like, well, are we done? And Bugfucker looks at you like, wish you'd never come here. And he says, I have to tend to the slugs. And he turns away and walks off.
I think like as he leaves, I'll just say in Giant, that man was your friend. In fact, you were his only friend, it seems. But now it's all changed. He resents me for that. Not sure if you care that much, but
Yeah, she snorts and she says, the weak serve the strong. He'll come around.
yes, but just because you're strong does not mean you don't have a heart. You should be wise to remember that.
She kind of rolls her eyes at you and she's like, sure. Like she's totally just acting like boss of town. Like
Yeah.
she's just like, yeah, all right, tough guy.
Yeah. I think I start to like walk out and say, you've been reborn. I don't think your name suits you anymore. Or at least what it once was.
How convenient. I don't remember it.
Your name is now... Well, still to be decided, I suppose.
Yeah. So she grins, and she says, "Well, when you decide what you think it should be, let me know."
Come outside.
For now, yeah. And she says, "For now, you and your little friend can call me boss." And she strides outside.
Yeah, if she like walks past me, then I'd like grab the sword, put it on my back, I'd follow her out. We're gonna fight.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So
like
you
boss
follow her out
bullshit.
and we fade to break.
Cool. All right, let's take our break. Still got 2 more hours to go here on Court of Swords episode 110. We'll be right back with more right after this. We'll see you guys then.